I trace my political awakening back to my father's Viking Blue 1982 Oldsmobile 98. He proudly called it his company car, a classic. My dad loved the broad chassis, the long hood, and the way it rode close to the ground. More importantly, he loved how he felt when he was in the car, impenetrable. "It rides like a cruise ship," he would remark. To hear my dad tell it, if Shaft had gone into politics, he would have driven an Oldsmobile 98. My dad, Joe Reed, was fanatical about his Oldsmobile. For starters, he banished my brother and me from sitting in the front passenger seat. It was always the back seat for us, and he insisted on parking it in the garage. When he returned home from work, there was no running to greet him in the driveway. He was insistent. "Unless I'm in the car with you, stay out of it." Understood. Throughout my childhood, my father wore many hats professionally, but his North Star was always the same: politicking, persuading, and pushing America to live up to her founding creed that people all are created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, including life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. My father's life work is a project of American democracy. From his own personal life experience and a career dedicated to advancing civil rights, my father understood the vast chasm that exists between what America says she is on paper and the lived reality of many of its citizens, especially those of us who are Black. He always understood what many today are only now beginning to realize. American democracy is both fallible and fragile, and without constant vigilance, we risk losing it. My dad's story begins in the Alabama Black Belt. There, large cotton plantations and sharecroppers kept small tenant farmers, just like my dad's family, barely subsisting. My dad was born in the heart of the Black Belt, in Connecticut County, which is closer in every sense to Biloxi, Mississippi, than to Birmingham, Alabama, if that tells you anything. Even today, it's a little bit like stepping back in time when you drive through that part of the state. Agriculture and its surrounding culture still dictate life's terms. People are self-sufficient and mostly keep to themselves. Long dirt roads and vast tracts of fields filled with puffy white cotton mark the landscape. There's an uneasy sense that one should stick to the roads and places they know. It's not a place to wander. My dad spent the first 18 years of his life here, in the Black Belt. His mother's mantra, when my dad was growing up, was, "Don't get in any trouble." And she followed that piece of advice with more ominous warning. "If you get in any trouble, I can't help you. So don't get in any trouble." This was the era of Emmett Till. These were the years when a young Black boy could be brutally murdered for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. My grandmother, my father's mother, was a quiet Christian woman who worked her entire life as a domestic when she wasn't working the family farm. She understood the environment in which they lived and did everything a good mother would do in that situation. She kept her children close and out of harm's way by doling out discipline and a regimen of hard, often back-breaking work on the family farm. The Black Belt reverberates with that painful history. When you dig into the soil and the people who farm it, you discover what has animated the Black journey across American history. First, it wasn't too long ago that most Americans depended on agriculture for everything. For generations of Black Americans, farming was all we ever knew since our forced migration to this land centuries ago. As a boy, my dad worked the family farm. Like his parents, and their parents, and their parents, my dad toiled under the oppressively hot Alabama sun to till soil darker than the night. They planted cotton and corn, peas, and pecans. My dad plowed with mules. He was even a lumberjack one summer. In the 1940s, life in the Black Belt wasn't too far removed from life in the 1880s. The environment and living conditions reflected that. No running water or indoor plumbing, dirt roads as far as the eye could see, and communities of humble homes held together by clay, rudimentary tools, and hard hands.